so yesterday we talked about one-step expressions and writing them. Now we're going to do the two-step expressions. So two-step, it just means it has two different operations. All right, so most of the time it's going to be multiplication and addition, or multiplication and subtraction, or division. But majority of the time it's multiplication, okay? So like right here, it says write the phrase 5 less than 3 times the number of points. Okay, so just like yesterday, we are going to underline the key math words. Okay, so what would we underline there, Mariana? So let's go less than and then times. So in this case, since there's 2 of them, you got to underline both. That way you key into having 2 operations. Okay, now we have to define our variable just like yesterday. So what are we missing? What do we not know? What's the unknown? What did they not give us a number for?
Points.
The number of points. So I'd say P equals number of points. Okay? Alright, now we have to write this. So this is where it gets a little complicated. Alright, so it says 5 less than 3 times the number of points. So less than means what? What are we doing with that, Jalen? Subtraction. So we know there's subtraction. What does times mean? Mariana? Multiplication. Okay, so if it's 3 times the number of points, how do we write that? 3 times the number of points. How do we show that in the expression? Aiden?
3 times 5.
Oh. So 3 times the number of points.
3 times points.
3 times P. Okay, so that's where we're going to start this. 3P minus what? What's left? 5. 3P minus 5. Okay, so there's going to be 2 different operations. That's what you got to pay attention to. And most of the time, this is how they're going to be written. You do the multiplication or division first, then the subtraction. Okay, subtraction usually goes second. Multiplication and division go first. All right, let's go over to page 465 now. All right, so let's look at number... Actually, I lied. We're going to do 464. What? Okay. So, on number 1, all right, so they could be 1 step, they could be 2 step. We have to determine that. So, number 1 says 4 times more money than Elliot saved. What should we underline there? Mariana?
4 times.
4 times. Is there anything else? So, how many operations do we have here? 1. Okay, what is that operation?
Time.
Multiplication. Okay, so first, so we already underlined, now we got to do our variable, defining a variable. So, what is the unknown? What do we not know?
The money.
The amount of money. So, M equals money Elliot saved, because we don't know how much he saved. So, if it's 4 times the amount of money, how are we going to write that expression? What would it look like? 4 times the amount of money. Jade, you got an idea?
What?
4 times more money than Elliot saved. How would we show that in our expression?
I don't know.
Well, think about yesterday. What did we do yesterday for multiplication? How would we write it?
Oh, we put them together.
Yeah, so what would it look like?
M4.
So you always do the number first, then the variable. So 4M. Okay? So that's it. So that's 1 step. Let's look at number 2. Half as many pages as George read. Okay? What would we underline in this one? Aiden?
Many.
Nope.
Okay, half.
Half. Half is going to mean, if we're taking half of something, we're cutting it in half. What are you actually doing? Division. Okay, so we're going to be dividing because we're cutting it in half. So, what is the unknown here? What would be the unknown, Anicia? Yeah, so the page is George read. So P equals pages George read. Okay, so if we're showing division now, and we're cutting it in half, okay, what is this expression going to look like? So we're using division. Mariana? So just like yesterday, we did division. How did we show it? Not times. What do you do when you cut it in half? How many pieces do you get?
2.
P divided by 2. So you'd write P on top divided by 2. That's how you show division. P divided by 2.
That's all.
Yep. Okay, number 3. The width of a box that is 4 inches less than the width, or the length, sorry. The width of the box that is 4 inches less than the length. Okay, what would we underline here, Jalen? Less than. So that means we're doing what operation? Subtraction. Okay, so what's the unknown? What do we need to set a variable for?
Width of the box.
Not the width,
The length.
the length. Okay, it's the length that is missing. Yep. So L equals length. Okay, so if it's the width of the box is 4 inches less than the length, what's that going to look like? So we know it's subtraction. Aiden, what's it going to look like?
4 minus L.
So if the length, we're taking 4 away from the length. So we have to,
L minus 4.
there you go. L minus 4. So if you notice, those are all one-step expressions, just like what we did yesterday. Because you notice we only underlined one thing. Okay, let's look at number 4 now. The cost of 5 CDs and a $12 DVD. All right, what are we going to underline here? Ruby?
Cost.
Cost. Anything else? And. You can do and. And in math, if you look up there, it should be on there.
So you don't have to solve these, you just have to do them.
Nope, we're not solving because we don't know what the variable is. We don't know the number. You can't solve it if you don't know what the number is. Okay, so this is going to be a 2-step. Now look at this. If we have 5 CDs and a $12 DVD, what do we not know? Mariana?
The cost of the 5 CDs.
Not the 5 CDs.
The $12.
No, we know how much that is. Not, but what do I mean by if? Yes, we bought 5 CDs, but we don't know the price of
The CD.
just the CD a piece. We don't know how much they are a piece.
Isn't it just like yesterday?
Yep. So C equals cost of the CD. Because we don't know how much each of those cost. That's what we're got to figure out. So, and means to add. Whenever you see and, like when you're trying to find the cost of something, you're putting things together with and, it means to add. Okay, so we underline 2 things. So that's going to be 2 operations. So if we're trying to find the cost of 5 CDs, how are we going to show that? What operation would that be? Ruby? Multiplication. So how would we write that?
C times 5.
So 5C plus how much? What else did we buy?
12.
A $12 DVD. 5C plus 12. All right, let's go back, and I want you guys to do letter D down here at the bottom of page 463. Okay, so go ahead and do letter D. So read through it, underline, okay, and then I want you to define the variable and then write out the expression. So it says write the phrase $3 more than 4 times the cost of a pretzel as an algebraic expression. So first off, what are we going to underline here? Aiden?
More than in time.
More than in time. So that shows us right there we have 2 operations. Okay, now, what is the unknown? What are we going to set our variable to be? Ruby?
Cost of the pretzel.
The cost of the pretzel. So you can do whatever letter you want. I'm going to use C equals cost of pretzel. That way we know. Now we have to write our expression. So this reads $3 more than. What does more than mean? What operation, Jalen? Addition. What's times mean? Multiplication. Okay, so you can also write that above if you need to remember that. There's nothing wrong with that. All right, now, so it says $3 more than 4 times the cost of the pretzel. So this part right here is what we have to start with, the cost of the pretzel, because we got to add $3 to that and get our total at the end. So how are we going to show 4 times the cost of the pretzel? What's that going to look like in our expression? Amoriana?
3 times.
On 3. Ruby?
It would be. I forgot.
Aiden?
4 times 2.
4 times whatever variable you use. So I'm going to put 4C, and then more than we said is addition, and then what are we adding? How much money?
3.
$3. 4C plus 3. That's it. So it's just like yesterday, but they've added an extra operation. So you have multiplication or division, or it could be addition and subtraction a bunch of times. Okay? It's all in what the phrase says. Any questions on this? So it's still the same steps as yesterday. Underline, define a variable, write the expression out. So on IXL today, your problem is, let me look. Y3. I need to go start real quick. So 6th grade, Y3.